Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a duplication video to duplicate cars. There's a couple reasons you might want to do this. You might want to just have duplicates of your cars like I do. I don't actually sell any vehicles. I don't need the money or anything like that. So normally what I like to do is I like to have a bunch of similar looking cars. If I like the car, I might throw like 5 or 10 cars in the garage just kind of for fun, right? So if you're one of those guys, you like me, then by all means this is a video for you. And then I'll also talk a little bit about a money glitch video. So you can actually, if you're doing custom elegies, you're able to duplicate those and sell them for $1,000,000 as well, right? So I'll talk about that. We're not going to do that today, so but it's really no different than any other car. Obviously, the custom energies just make sure it has regular number plates and it doesn't have any custom plates on it, because when you exit the garage, you want to make sure that the number plates have actually changed, right? In terms of for the other people that are just duplicating cars for the sake to have a duplicate of that vehicle, like the oppressor, the MK2 or whatever car. We'll do a couple of cars. I'll duplicate this this neon car here, and then we'll do a oppressor as well. As you can see, I've already duplicated a few, and it works pretty well. The hardest thing that I found, yeah, is there's quite a few steps that we'll talk about. We'll talk about the different steps on what to do, but the hardest is just to remember to go to the right garage before you go into your MOC. So there are a few things that you will need. So you'll need a nightclub, you'll need an MOC, you'll need a bunker, you'll need a bike, a clubhouse, you'll need a CEO office, and you'll need some bikes or a bike in your clubhouse. So you do need to be pretty well off and already have all these things in order to do this glitch. If you're just starting out and you're new and you're looking to make money and you don't have all those, unfortunately you're not going to be able to do this glitch. So there's quite a high list of items that you will need. You will need a nightclub with at least 2 floors. One garage will need to be filled with free allergies, and then the garage that we're going to use in this case is B2, which is filled with cars that you want to actually duplicate, right? So let's take a quick look at the other garage. So this is your first garage. So we'll duplicate, like I said, the neon there, and then one of the oppressors, and then you need a second floor filled with allergies, right? Now you can actually duplicate 20 cars at a time. You basically fill 2 garages with the cars that you want to duplicate, and then 2 garages filled with allergies. As you can see, I have an entire garage filled with allergies. Don't put any cars here that you do not want to lose. I don't believe it overwrites these allergies as such. I think once the glitch ends, then the allergies just return to normal. I saw that when a second my friend or my second character timed out, all these cars went back to normal. So, but don't assume the risk there. Just have them as free allergies. So, first of all, you need a nightclub. You need a clubhouse. You need a CEO office. You need a bike in that clubhouse. You need at least 2 floors of storage, or garages rather, not storage. 2 garages, 1 filled with the cars you want to duplicate, and then the second one filled with allergies, right? Now you can duplicate one car if you want, or you can duplicate 5 cars, or you can duplicate 10 or 20 cars. It's up to you what you want to do. Every one of these will have to be driven to your bunker. Unfortunately, you can't call your MSC and put it outside your nightclub. You will have to drive it in. The press is a little different. For whatever reason, you can't actually drive your presser into the back of your MOC in the bunker, so you have to actually call it out of your bunker, or rather you go get it from your bunker and you bring it outside. But I'll show you that, right? So, okay, so that's step. So once you've set up your nightclub, you're ready to go. We need to go to our office. You need a bed in that office, because you need to set it as your spawn location. So let's do that. So we will set the spawn location to your office. Okay, so let's do that. And you need to be in a public session because we need to start one of the special missions from your office. You don't have to worry about having a solo public session. I have that here, but that's not necessary. It really doesn't matter since we will be starting a mission, and your friend will be joining that mission, and then we'll be going into an invite session. So don't worry about trying to get into a solo session. Okay, so I am spawned into my office, and it doesn't matter if your friend is in the session at this point. Your friend has a very simple job, and that is really not to time out. The job is super simple. But it's quite easy for them to time out if they're not doing anything, so just make sure that you remind them to keep on tapping their controller. Okay, so at this point we are going to become a CEO because we need to start the mission and access our computer in our office. Okay, so we log into our computer. We will then go to special vehicle work, and we're going to start the ramp buggy mission. Actually, there's one, sorry, I actually missed a step here. Okay, before we do this, we need to make sure that we have our bike active. So let's go downstairs. So we're in our office at the moment. So let's exit the building here quick, and we're going to call our bike, and then we'll come right back. And the reason we need to call our bike is so we can access our clubhouse. You also need to know where your clubhouse is. So once we start the mission, you'll need to go to your clubhouse. So it's not going to show up on the map. So hopefully you know where it is. So if you don't, then before you start the mission, take a look where your clubhouse is on the map. Okay. So at this point, we are going to call our bike. It doesn't matter, any bike from your clubhouse. Doesn't really matter at this point.
Wheels? I can bring them around.
Okay, just call any bike, it doesn't matter. Just wait for your bike to spawn just outside your office, and then we're going to head back in. So it should spawn right in front of me there. There it is. Okay, so I can see it right over there. Okay, so let's go back in.
Good to see you, boss.
Special vehicle work, ramp buggy. Okay, at this point we're going to start the mission, and we're going to invite our friend to join the mission. Okay, my friend, or rather in this case my second character. So if you don't have any friends and you need to do the duplication glitches, I mean, it's quite easy to buy a second PS4 or Xbox or a second PC, and then you can just play two characters. That's what I do, and it's just, I don't have to deal with waiting for people or anything like that. So it's really cheap. You can get them off eBay or Craigslist, like super cheap, especially the older ones, right? Okay, at this point we are going to start the mission. We are going to be in a helicopter. We'll fly down to a bike, and then we're going to head to the clubhouse. Okay, so at this point you can see my bike on the map down there. Nothing else, your clubhouse is not on the map.
Waiting for you at the pickup. Our clients are under intense pressure from
reinforcement and in need of an extraction team. They'll call when they need to be pulled out.
Okay, so go jump on your bike.
Collect the modified buggies and the extraction vehicle, then head over to the client.
Oh, don't do that.
You'll use the buggy's low profile to clear law enforcement from the road and defend the client vehicle.
So your friend doesn't have to do anything at this point. They got a really simple, easy job. Okay, so we are going to head into our clubhouse and we're just going to drive in. At this point, we are going to freeze when we drive in. So you're going to be sitting like this. It'll freeze. At this point, we are going to go to online and we're going to load up Creator. Okay, once we're in Creator, we are going to go and start, and you don't have to do anything on the Creator menu. We are going to start an invite session only. Okay, you'll see the Creator menu, but don't worry about anything there. We're going to go back to online, and we are going to go to Play GTA Online, and we're going to go to Invite Only. So now we will spawn in our office. At this point, we will blow ourselves up. You'll notice we'll be in our office, and it won't actually be our office, or at least the decor won't be our office. It'll be our office without the decor, but we'll have our gun wheel available to us, and we'll blow ourselves up at this point. So either with a grenade or a sticky, whatever you have handy, right? Hopefully one or the other. It's kind of funny to actually look at your office and there's no decor. And I'll show you what the receptionist is doing. So the receptionist, for whatever reason, who actually doesn't even look like my receptionist, is standing on the chair. And every time I do this, well, not every time, but the last time she was in a dress or something, so it was a different clothes. Okay, so at this point we are going to blow ourselves up. You don't get to do that too often, especially with the sound effects from the receptionist. Okay, so at this point we are in an invite session. I can't actually see, I can't pull my down menu at all. So your friend, you want to invite your friend to the session if they're out of the clouds at this point, and then we are going to head up to our nightclub. But don't go into the garage until the friend has joined the session. So just make sure you're communicating with your friend. And we will have to go and pick up our friend. They will be invisible, but you'll be able to see an icon on the map, and you'll have to communicate for them to actually get into a car with you. So we currently glitched out, and the next steps are pretty easy. My second character is still stuck in the clouds, and hopefully they will be out of the clouds shortly. If not, I will just do a restart there quick. Okay, so I'm at my nightclub. Okay, so let me just do a restart here quick. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go grab a car from the garage that we want, one of the cars that we will duplicate, and we'll use that car to go pick up our friend. Okay, just loading into story. Let me try to join you. Should be a quick join because it's an invite session. Okay, so they're just joining. I think I've got it set at the same nightclub, so I shouldn't have to drive too far. So if you're doing this with a friend, just get them to spawn at the closest place. If they don't have the same nightclub as you, get them to like see if there's an apartment close by, so you don't have to drive too far. Okay, so this is joining, should be in shortly. So we are going to go into B2. We're using B2 and B3 in terms of the floors. Okay, yeah, so I have her in the nightclub here as well. Okay, so I'm going to go and we're going to select B2 in this case. Okay, so we're going to grab a car from... We're going to grab a car from the garage. It doesn't matter, any car is fine. Okay, let me just see if I can get her to exit the nightclub here quick. Actually, can I do it from the elevator? Sure, that's okay. Now your friend will be invisible, you're not going to be able to see them. So they're going to have to communicate with you, and they will need to tell you when they've jumped into your car. Okay, so we're going to grab a car at this point. Just grab the neon here quick. Okay, so you want to drive out of the garage, and then you want to go pick up the friend. So depending where they are, you should see the icon, but you won't actually see them. Okay, so you can see on the mini map, I can see the icon, but I cannot see my friend. My friend's actually standing on top of the car here, but you can't see that, so I'm going to jump into the car. Okay, so she's in the car there. And then we are going to go back into the same garage, B2. Okay, so we both exit in the car, and as you can see, your friend is still invisible. Okay, so standing right over here. Now, all your friend has to do at this point is you'll go down on the D-pad and go to story, and they'll get a message, but they're not going to accept. So I'm going to hit down on the D-pad. I'm going to go right to Trevor, and then I get a message. Are you sure you want to quit this session? So your friend needs to stay on that black alert screen. Your friend should not leave that screen. Now, depending on how many cars you're duplicating, this does take a long time, and your friend's going to have to be very patient with you. Otherwise, it's not going to work, right? So your friend must stay on that black alert screen, and your friend must keep on touching the analog stick so they don't time out. As soon as they time out, the glitch is broken. You're going to have to restart the glitch from the beginning, right? So just remind your friend, keep touching the controller every like 30 seconds or so, just to make sure they don't time out. So at this point, we're going to exit the warehouse. Do not do all exit, just do exit yourself. You do not want to take your friend with you. So at this point, we're going to enter into the garage with the elegies in it, and sometimes it will transfer into the cars into that second garage the first time. Most times it will not. So depending, my first time it transferred the first time, and then when I did it the second time it didn't transfer. So it really depends. So at this point we're going to go to level 3 because we're using level 2 and 3. Okay. Now I also had it where the the cars didn't transfer. As you can see here, no cars were transferred. I still have all elegies here. So the last time I did this, I had to, so I'm going to exit the warehouse. So we'll try again. I kept on doing it 2 or 3 times, and it didn't want to transfer. So what I ended up doing is I took my friend. We drove out, we drove back in, and then it worked. It worked the next time. Okay, so let's try this. So normally it should work the second time. Okay, so again, it seems appearing to do exactly what it did last time. So let's try a third time. Let's try one more. If that doesn't work, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the level 2. I'm going to grab the car, and my friend will drive out, and we'll drive back in. Let's see if this one works. Okay, so again, it seems to be doing exactly what it did last time. Okay, so then we go to level 2 here. Okay, so ask your friend to back out of that screen. Just hit B. It'll take a while. They'll see a spinning circle. It'll probably take sort of almost a minute for them to come out sometimes. Just wait for your friend to come out of that black screen before you do anything. We can get into the car and we'll do this again. So for whatever reason, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just the nature of the glitch. So once your friend is out of the black screen, get them to get in the car, and then you're going to drive out, and then we'll drive straight back in. Okay, so my friend has just come out. He's right behind me, and jump in the car here. Okay, so it's in the car, as you can see. Oh, you did actually see them show up there briefly. Okay, so we can drive out, we can drive back in. It's kind of good that it happens, so I can actually show you that happening if it does happen to some of you guys. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to jump out, your friend's going to go down on the D-pad. Let's choose Trevor in this case, and they're going to sit on that black screen. They shouldn't do anything else. Okay, so we are going to exit the garage. And let's try this again. Okay, we're going to go to B3. Okay, so as you saw, my elegies all disappeared, and now well, not all of them. I only had 8 cars there, as you can see, two elegies still. So it just kind of replaces those, but it doesn't really replace them. They kind of just virtual replacing them in a way. They just kind of layered them on top, but they're kind of still underneath there if they will, right? So now at this point we are in B3, right? And you can kind of see the numbers on the wall there. So kind of by the up by the stairs there. So it's really confusing when you're kind of doing this. You do need to make sure you're in the right garage. Sometimes you think you're in the right garage and you take the original car that's in B2 and you try and duplicate it, and it doesn't duplicate and you're not sure why. That's probably why. So just kind of be very cognizant of what you take. So in this case, let's take a car first, because the press is a little bit different than the regular stuff. Now we're going to head all the way to our bunker. Unfortunately, it is a drive, so depending where you bunker, the farmhouse and this nightclub is the closest. So you might want to, if you're going to do duplication often, you might want to find the closest nightclub and the closest bunker. And it's probably one of these Vinewood nightclubs and the farmhouse, in all honesty, are probably the two closest. Okay, so we're going to go to the farmhouse, which I just happen to have. Okay, and we are going to drive into the bunker and into our back of our MSC. So just make sure that your MSC, if you are doing this for the first time and you haven't duped cars before, that you do have a personal storage compartment at the back. You do not need a car in the back. You do not need a free elegy in the back of your MOC. You're not going to overwrite anything. You're just going to drive it in, and that just saves the car as a personal car because you're going into your personal storage. Now normally what I do is I just drive it back to my nightclub, but in theory I believe you could just, you know, take a helicopter, a buzzard, and just call your car from the... I mean, it's in your storage. You have to put it in the garage, otherwise... well, actually, I mean, in theory you don't, because if you try and replace it, then it'll actually move that car into a garage somewhere. But I wouldn't take a risk. I just like to see it for myself to make sure it's duplicated. Okay, so at this point we're going to drive into our bunker. Now this doesn't work with the Presser Mark II for some reason. If you try and fly it inside your bunker, it just exits the bunker straight away. So what you have to do with the Presser is you have to go inside your bunker, get your MOC, print it out, and then drive your Presser into the back of your MOC. But in this case we have a car, so this should work just fine. Okay, so we're going to drive it into the back. And it has now saved the car, right? So in theory this car is now yours. It's duplicated as long as you took the right car and you didn't take one from B2, right? So in this case I'm going to drive back just so I can show you that we do have a duplicated car, and then we're going to grab the Presser. Now the problem with doing that, of course, is when you drive back, you drive in, it's very easy for you to just jump into the Presser right next to this car, because that's where your mind is, right? So you have to kind of make sure you grab the right vehicle on the right floor and not the one on the same floor we're going to park this one at, right? So okay, so again, remember, if you're duplicating... Okay, I just noticed on this car, and I thought that wasn't the case from my... And I think it was probably because I made a mistake in the last one, but you'll notice on this vehicle, the number, I have a number plate. I just have a regular number plate where I had a custom number plate, so it looks like it does actually replace the number plate even though you have a custom plate. So you should be able to actually sell this car without any problems. It should be a clean car. Super quiet car. It's actually a really nice car, this one. I'm glad I got this on sale last week for $1 million. It was down from 1.5, so it's actually quite a neat little car. Looks pretty dope.
Oh my God.
Okay, so just make sure you're reminding your friend to keep touching their controller. Okay, so we're gonna drive. I'm gonna drive back into that same. Now you don't have to drive back to this garage. You can drive back to any of your other garages. I'm just gonna drive back to the garage just so I can see that I actually duplicated the car, and then you can actually move it. So we should have, in theory, 2 white cars hopefully in this garage, and you'll notice the number plate should be different. Okay, so it actually parks it in the spot at the back, so you know immediately that it is at the back here, and we have successfully duplicated. You can see the number plate's different, right? So a lot of times I'm not thinking, so I just automatically jump on one of these bikes and then I go and try and duplicate it, and it doesn't work, right? So that's not going to work for us. So we want to actually duplicate it. So we're going to run back and we're going to exit the garage just like what we did before. So you can duplicate. You have to take every single one of these cars and take them to your bunker. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a trek to do that, but that's just how the glitch works. If you want to duplicate 10 at a time, of course you have okay, we're going to go into 3. Just make sure you enter the right garage. You put 10 cars you want to duplicate in the first garage, in the first floor, and then you put 10 elegies on the second floor. If you're trying to do 20 cars at a time, you'll notice the car's actually gone here. Okay, because we've put it in the other garage. So we're going to jump onto an oppressor here. So if you want to do 20 cars at a time, you just make sure you got 10 cars you want to duplicate on say B2, 10 allergies on B3, and then on so 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think, right? And then make sure that you have 10 cars on B4, and then that you want to duplicate, and then 10 cars on B5. And then when you want to duplicate those, you just basically same thing as if you're duplicating 1 or 5 or 10. You just walk into the second garage, and then you it will transfer over to that garage, and then you can do 10 at a time. Now you still have to deliver each one of those 20 cars to your bunker individually. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of the glitch. Like I said, it's you know, try and get a bunker that's close to your nightclub, and that'll speed it up a little bit. I don't think I hit the glitch yet. Okay, so in this case, I'm not even going to drive into my... Well, let me show you what it does. Let me show you what it does. So we drive into our bunker now. And I should be able to drive the bike to the back of my MOC, but for whatever reason, I don't know if Rockstar deliberately made it so you can't duplicate this bike. So you can't actually... I don't know if that was... It's kind of like a patch. It could just be part of a patch. So if I try and drive it in the bunker, I immediately exit the bunker. Now you also can't just call your MOC. You have to actually go get it. So if you try and call your MOC, it'll say it's not near, you're too far from a suitable road. And it doesn't matter. I went to the highway. I sat on the highway, same message. I went to the road, that main road, just kind of at the end of the slot here. Same thing. None of that seemed to work. Not a big deal. So go back into your bunker, and then drive your MOC outside the bunker. And that is it. That is it. Very super simple, easy to do. Do this glitch as quick as you can. It's going to be patched. It's not going to last. So if you are duplicating vehicles, it could even be patched by the time I release this video. So your time is short. So if you see this video tomorrow, or you see someone else's video that's do the glitch pretty quick, because otherwise you might just miss it. And Rockstar will just come in and patch it or hotfix it. Now, if you want to do the dupes, one thing that you might be able to do, although Rockstar's getting better at this, is to go into creator mode and don't turn the game off. You can't actually stay in GTA because they kick you out of the session, and then they just hotfix the game. So yeah, we have our oppressor still outside the bunker. We're going to jump on here, and we're just going to drive it into the MOC. Very nice and easy. Okay. Okay, so again, same thing. You can just call your buzzer, or it doesn't really matter since we have an oppressor. Okay, so I'm going to drive back to the nightclub just to show you it did actually duplicate. Again, remind your friend to hit the controller. What I'm doing here is the speed glitch, or trying to. It does actually go pretty quick. Okay, so that's just the speed glitch. You just kind of go up and down like a dolphin, and then you hit your boost, and you just keep on going up and down, and it'll make your oppressor fly fast, but that's likely to get patched soon. Okay, so we're going to go back, and I'm going to enter into B2 where my original vehicles were, and I should be at park at the back next to the neon. Okay, let's go forward. Okay, so we're going to go to B2. And if it worked, you should be at the back. So as you can see, we have the 4 presses that I had there originally, and then I have the 2 dupe cars at the back here. So I have the presser here, Mark II. So very easy to do, very quick. Once you've done it a few times, like I said, it's pretty easy to do. The press is a little bit different, like I said, and then the cars tend to work fine. So when you exit the car, if you're duping custom retros, then just make sure that the number plate has changed, and then just store them into a different garage there, right? Like I said, you can do 10 at a time. Just fill this garage with 10 vehicles. So if this garage is currently full, obviously, at the moment. So if I had 10 energies in my second garage, it would transfer all of these across. And then if I had in my B4, I had another 10 cars I wanted to dupe, and then 10 energies in B5, then you can do 20 cars at a time, or 10 cars, or 1, or whatever you want to duplicate, right? So there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any comments, please hit the comment in the comment section, hit the like button, and please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Thanks again.